This is not a test. This is rock and roll.
I wake up every morning in a bed that's too small, drive my daughter to a school that's too expensive, and then I go to work to a job for which I get paid too little.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
You're waking up with the Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
90.5 WASU. Happy Monday. Welcome in on the Morning App. I'm Howie C. here with Kristen, Josh, and Molly. How's everybody doing this morning? The laugh at the start. Oh, that's not good. It's not a start.
mean, I basically ice skated here, so.
Yeah, the roads are really bad. So if you're out and about and you need to get around, be careful. Some of the roads haven't been plowed, especially the one in my apartment. I was a little concerned how I was going to get out of there. But yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, though, you are celebrating today because the Eagles won Super Bowl 52 last night against the Patriots, 41-33. One of the biggest wins in Super Bowl history. So if you're an Eagles fan, happy Super Bowl Monday to you. Congratulations to the Eagles for winning the game. And a lot of people will not be going to work today because they are going to be celebrating. I don't know if you've seen anything on Twitter, but the fans in Philly are going absolutely nuts. They are flipping cars over. They are setting things on fire.
That's a little much.
Yes.
The city of Philadelphia will not last the day. So it was, nice knowing it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're not losing much.
Yeah, they're
Philadelphia fans are honestly some of the worst. They're most passionate, but Philadelphia fans are some of the worst. They'll even admit to that.
Well, they're pretty hardcore. That's what he's referring to.
Literally talk to any Philly fan and they'll tell you, yes, we are terrible fans because of what we do to other fan bases.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Are they flipping the cars right now?
I saw a video last night. They flipped a car over on the street.
Well, I hope it was his car.
I truly don't understand that because why would you want to wreck this city that just had a triumph? Like, I don't understand that. I do and I don't because it's exciting. You're like, woo, let's riot. But also, that was my car.
Come on, man.
You know of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel?
Yes.
From apparently people were jumping out the windows onto the awning of it and then rolling off, and then the awning eventually collapsed. So people were running around with like pieces of awning all over them throughout the city.
Oh my God.
I mean, hey, you only win a Super Bowl once in a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like
Patriots.
The Patriots, yeah.
Or the Steelers or the Cowboys, But just think about that for a second, that these people are jumping out of windows. They are setting stuff on fire.
Okay, but remember when the Cubs won the World Series?
Oh, it was pretty bad.
I mean, it was, But like I said, that only happens once in a lifetime. Go crazy, go nuts. Maybe don't flip a car. Okay, that's not your car. But go crazy. It only happens once in a while. So, I mean, I'm kind of fine with it. But just, safety first.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the Eagles fans will not be going to work today. And actually, millions of Americans will not be going to work today because most of them are going to call in sick.
Oh, because they cried so much at the This Is Us episode last night that played after the Super Bowl?
That might have something to do with it as well, because I heard that was pretty intense for what I've heard. But I don't really watch the show. Anyway, going on for it, saying a new report that 14 million workers will suddenly become ill on Monday after the Super Bowl just because they had too much to drink, or they're diehard Eagles fans, or they're sad Patriots fans. So a lot of people are not coming to work. So 19% of Americans say that they have missed work in the past on the day after the big game, and with 25% thinking it should be a holiday.
Oh, get out of here.
Make it a holiday.
25% think it should be a holiday?
Should be.
It should not be.
No.
This is a sporting event. No. I'm sorry.
That's a very American thing to say slightly.
I don't know. I'm not a huge sports person, and then to take a national holiday from a sports game, get out of here. I didn't watch a single minute of the show last night, and I'm fine.
We have holidays for everything else, so give us our Super Bowl. I'd rather take away a holiday from one of the lesser days and then give it to Super Bowl.
Like Columbus Day?
Yeah.
Who celebrates Columbus
As much
Day?
as we love Columbus himself,
I'll take that out.
let's swap it.
I agree. Super Bowl Monday. Let's make it happen. And when people call in sick for work, the most common excuse is a fever. So 26% of people say they will have a fever today, and 14% say sore throat, and 12% say headache.
Headache?
Yes.
You're going to call out of work for a headache?
No, headaches are pretty bad, though. They can be pretty severe.
It means you're
hungover.
hungover.
Yeah.
They don't want to say that they're holding the porcelain throne. And, yeah, I don't know. I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. But, yeah, so we didn't call in sick today, but a lot of people out there, go celebrate. Do what you got to do, okay? 14 million people probably are staying home and just recuperating from last night.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people. But Hey, it's a holiday. It should be a holiday.
I mean, to be fair, the roads are pretty bad. We probably should have gotten a delay or something, even though we haven't at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the last week or so. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still
because-
really salty about that. But that's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, the Apple Cart's been pushing it this week. I mean, they've been doing really well, but I think it's because we canceled so much the first and last week of classes.
Yeah.
This past semester and this one.
Yeah,
I mean, it
agree.
was one day. Safety first, like you just said.
But I don't want to miss class. I'm studious, okay?
I think it was more than one day. I remember being trapped in my apartment for a while. I mean, maybe it covered a weekend though. But
I mean,
was stuck.
we had the very first day of classes, then we missed the next day, and then after that, we're fine. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, safety first. But did you all? Obviously, Kristen didn't. Did you all watch the Super Bowl
Oh, I watched it from
start to finish?
Yeah, start to finish. Probably
Molly?
30 minutes before.
No.
I didn't, but I'm sad I missed JT. I really
Well,
like him.
let's
it.
talk about that immediately because
Oh.
it was pretty bad.
What?
Bad.
It was average. Every review that I'm reading, and I couldn't agree with more. It was pretty. The dance moves were good. His dance moves were on point. Choreograph, on point. But he was reaching for his old self, and it just didn't stick. His mic didn't work half the time. I was reading a review. You couldn't even hear him. His backup singers, you heard more than him. A lot of it was him just reaching for most of it, if we're being honest. He was trying to find his past and, connect with the old people who liked him. And, I mean, some people connect, but at the same time, it's like, you're washed up. Sorry.
Ooh, no. I don't know.
Josh.
I disagree.
No,
Don't say that
disagree.
about
yeah.
him.
I mean, and again, most fans will have that nostalgia. They'll be like, oh, wow, JT from the olden days. Oh, but if we actually look at it as a whole, and I wanted to like it, and, I mean, the dance moves are great. I really liked his old dance moves, but his actual singing it wasn't good.
Yeah, nobody will top Lady Gaga for me, quite honestly. But I do think that I love Justin Timberlake. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
And that's what most
But
people are saying.
I
They're
saw
like,
some
oh, I love him.
videos.
It
The
just
videos were a little.
Nah, look.
it was shaky.
Look. I think, okay, for me personally, I think we're too critical on performances. The reason why is because when Justin Timberlake is out there, he has to do this. First of all, he has to do 6 or 7 songs in probably 15, 20 minutes or so.
While
He's-
dancing.
Yeah, while dancing. He's moving around. He was inside of the stadium and he had to go into the field. He had to do a Prince tribute. He had to do all this stuff. His new songs and old songs.
First
so.
off, the Prince tribute, I mean, he just did that for the city of Minneapolis. He actually didn't even really like Prince. Apparently, they both had jabs at each other throughout their careers. So
Right.
it wasn't even why tribute
I'm
to someone
sure
you barely even like?
No, I'm sure he respects him as an artist,
That's probably
especially
what it
with
was,
everything
yeah.
that happened in the past few years. And I don't know. I mean, I get winded walking upstairs, so give the man some credit. I love JT, and I didn't love him when he was old JT, so I don't know if that's why I liked the performance because he's reconnecting with an old self. I like
Yeah.
new JT, honestly.
Yeah.
More so, but I still thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I thought he did good. I don't know. A lot of people were mixed bagging on it.
watch
So.
it.
Not live, but you can watch it afterwards, and that's the only thing I care about.
Yeah,
Well,
fair enough.
I mean, again, a lot of it, I personally didn't think it was that good. But moving on from JT, the commercials. What do you think of the commercials, Howie?
Ooh, okay. The Tide commercial.
Tide commercials were stellar.
Those probably were the best commercials I've seen in Super Bowl in a very long time. Because Tide basically, since y'all didn't get to see it, so what they did is they had the guy who was in Stranger Things who played Jim.
Dave Harbour.
Yeah, David
Hopper.
Well,
yeah.
no, that's the
Oh, I thought you
actual
were talking
Jim
about
Hopper.
his character. I was
Jim
like,
Hopper, the character,
Yeah.
but I think his name is Dave Harbour.
Yeah,
I think.
Harbor.
Yeah.
So he did the Tide commercials, and basically it was kind of imitation of all the other commercials. He's like, oh yeah, it's a beer commercial. Then it's like, we're just partying or whatever. He's like, oh no, it's just a Tide commercial.
Yeah, you can't he even had you can't guess which commercial it was. You would go through, you're like, oh, I think that's a Mr. Clean commercial, and you'd see the Mr. Clean guy, and then it switched to the actor, you'd be like, no, come on, this is a Tide commercial.
Yes.
Aw.
So
And it
he
was-
did parodies, and it was 5 or 6 of them the whole
Yeah,
time.
so you just never could guess, which is good because I always kept guessing oh, is that Marvel? Oh, is that Mr. Clean? And then it's no, it's a Tide.
And
Yeah.
he's an interesting character, just as a person in general.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go look this up after this.
Yeah, he killed it in those commercials. I like the one with the Giants with Odell and Eli Manning when they did a Dirty Dancing. That was pretty awesome too.
That was good. It just obviously with the football players actually dancing, it shows they really that's what they were doing all during the season, which is why their season sucked.
Yeah.
Because they were working on their dance moves.
Basically.
But, I mean,
Is going left and right with these roasts.
Josh,
I'm just telling you what I know and what I see and what I
give
read.
some guys some credit. You're roasting them this morning, okay?
I mean, you gotta-
They're making more money than you ever will.
You know, you're
At the end of
you're
the
right,
day.
but I don't like when people make a ton of money for bad stuff that they put out. Like, you know,
Oh, well, the commercial was great.
you gotta earn it.
My opinion.
Doritos was great.
Are you talking about with Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, Peter
Okay.
Dinklage, Morgan Freeman. They basically just lip synced really. I don't even know what to call it. Like
Popular songs.
Yeah, really popular song with the new Dorito flavor, and then they paired it with Mountain Dew from Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
So that was really good, and then the Eminem one was fantastic as well with little Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I like those too. I think they actually did a good job this year on the commercials, which hasn't been the thing in the last couple of years. But, you know, it's improvement. I liked a lot of commercials. They were really good.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm sure most of you guys are staying in on this Super Bowl holiday Monday, but if not, we'll be back on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
And now back to your favorite morning talk show, The Morning App, on 90.5 WASU.
90.5 WASU. It is 8:15. And I'm not feeling too hot this morning, guys. I'm sorry. I hate to have a smile on my face and sound great, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone's getting sick right now, so wash your hands, take vitamin C, do what you gotta do.
I'm avoiding the flu like the plague. That's my motto, man. I can't get the flu again. That was awful when I got it last year. Never again. So everybody's getting sick, and it's just be careful. Wash your hands. It's getting cold too, so don't be in the cold too long and be warm. And
I think that one's a myth.
I don't know. I'm just super tired this semester. I feel worn out a little bit.
Senioritis,
and I'm trying to find a job and
while working two jobs, right?
Yeah, two jobs plus school.
I understand.
But I found an article on how employees, not just students, are worn out. I don't know. Do you guys ever feel like your parents seem super, aside from the stress of us, super exhausted from their jobs?
My mom, especially when she was working two jobs, she was exhausted all the time. I felt bad for her because she would work sometimes during the week, but mostly it'd be the weekend. So she never really got a break, and she just kept grinding. So.
Yeah. My dad does a lot of international work, and so he has meetings at 9 p.m. and he was at work at 7 a.m. So it's like his day just doesn't end, and I'm just like, oh, thanks, Dad.
No, my dad's always on phone calls. I'm like, oh, Mr. Professional Brady. I always have to make fun of him, but I really do admire their work. But apparently, almost 1,000 workers will lose about $1.4 million a year when you add all of their loss together, from leaving work early because they're tired or making themselves exhausted through pushing themselves and a loss of productivity. But I don't know if it's the company's fault or if it's the workers themselves' fault. I don't know.
I think, honestly, I don't know, because in other countries around the world, they work less than 40 hours a week. And so, but the American standard for full-time is 40 hours a week. And some of us even push that edge right there. Some of us want to work more. I'm a workaholic, and I'm going to put in 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. days just because I get personal satisfaction out of my work and stuff like that. So I'll push myself to 50 hours a week if I want to. And so I think it kind of just comes from this, maybe not the workers themselves or specifically the employer, but probably just this environment that we've built up in America that you have to constantly be engrossed in your work and you have to constantly be productive in order to be successful, to climb the ladder. And it just keeps going and going and going. So I don't know, maybe it's a stigma, maybe it's a society, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, look at how far we've gotten from it,
You see how our economy is in comparison to other places, so it makes sense.
But self-care is important, too, if you're going to work 50 hours a week.
Yeah, and especially in our field that we don't always get that 9 to 5. We don't always work 40 hours a week. Sometimes we work more, sometimes we work less. Just depends on your position and what you're doing, which is kind of good that our field is really kind of flexible in that area, that we don't have to be a dedicated 40 hours per week, sit in the office type thing. We could do, 30 hours a week on air or something like that, just for an example. So I think that that's good, though, about the American economy is that there are multiple jobs for, whatever you want to do. And if you want to do 40 hours a week, you can. If you don't, there's other things you can do that are not 40 hours a week. So I think that's kind of the good thing about it. But we do get pretty exhausted, I feel like, just working all the time.
I'd say, honestly, I think you say that our economy is good and everything, but at the same time, I think all these people are getting exhausted because they have to work so much just to make a living. I mean, so I don't know who to blame that on. You can blame it on the company, you can blame it on the person. I mean, I don't really know who you blame that on, but the just amount that everyone has to work just to barely scrape by most of the time is why people are so exhausted. I mean, even if you have a high-profile job or anything, you're a doctor, it doesn't mean you get much. A lot of doctors don't actually get paid that much, so they have to work 2 to 3 jobs as well along with that, and I mean, it gets pretty rough for a lot of people.
That's fair. I mean, I love both of the jobs that I have, 3 if you include being a full-time student, but I wouldn't have 2 jobs if I didn't have to have 2
and
jobs.
And you're still barely making it at that point as well.
Yeah, no, barely.
It's tough. It's tough out there, but there's pros and cons to how we work in America, but we're just making it.
It's an interesting thing to discuss too, because 3 out of 4 of us right now are about to graduate and go into that work field, and so we're kind of looking at what companies we want to associate ourselves with, and I guess like how hard we want to work and what kind of work we want to do. But right now, I have the most admired companies in the world, and I guarantee you can guess number 1.
Number 1, the most loved.
Most admired companies in the world. Fortune magazine has just come out with their whole list, and so number 1.
Apple.
Yeah.
It's number 1?
Yeah.
Okay,
Most
that's
admired.
That's pretty, wow, that's surprising.
That's a
actually,
lie.
I thought
I know,
it'd be 10.
especially after the whole battery scandal that happened this year. I was surprised. I personally would have put Google up at number 1.
I
They gotta
would
be
have thought so too. Yeah.
Most hated is Apple. I mean, most annoying is Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
yeah.
enough. But I mean, their products work. So I mean,
Work or. But yeah, I mean, I thought Google's not even on the top 10 list.
that's surprising.
weird.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Maybe it's just our generation that really admires Google, but like, I love them. I love everything they're doing in the tech world, everything they do, search engine wise and stuff like that. Number 2, though, and we all have a membership to this, I guarantee you.
Ooh, a membership?
Yeah.
Netflix.
Amazon.
Oh, actually, I don't have Prime. I need to get
don't?
Prime. I need to get it.
You're a
But
student. Get that.
I had it in freshman year, and then they had like the 6-month trial
Yep.
basically. Then my trial ran out, and they charged me, so I had to call them. I'm like, wait, no,
Oh,
what?
I had to do that too. They double charged me too. I was like, give it back.
Yeah, give it back.
But it's still half price if you're a student. So
Yeah.
yeah, you get charged, but I mean, more people pay, like, I think it's over $100 for a Prime membership.
Yeah, can I say Amazon's number 1 to me? Because I love Amazon.
I
They're
love
awesome.
them, right? They're so great.
Yeah.
Number 3, is Alphabet.
I think Alphabet actually is Google, because that's the company that owns them. I think
What?
I think that is Google. I'm pretty sure.
I don't
A
know.
company owns Google.
Yeah, it's like Alphabet is the name of like the company that has like the most shares, I think, but
Yep.
it basically owns Google.
You're right. Alphabet, the company that now owns Google.
Huh,
Yep.
So okay, my
No,
bad.
no,
My
Google's
apologies.
fine.
I made a mistake.
Hey.
Google's number 3.
A lot of people didn't know. It's all good.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. That's kind of sad considering I'm in this tech industry. Okay, great. Moving on. Number 4 is Berkshire Hathaway.
Is that a coffee thing?
Yeah, it sounds like something in England. Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, that's definitely not an American thing.
Number
Without a doubt.
5, though. Number 5. I don't know if you guys go here a lot. Starbucks.
I like Starbucks, but I don't really go there a lot. But good coffee.
But they're a well admired company. I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of their coffee because it's Seattle brewed. But like they're a good company.
Well,
they have like
yeah.
good.
And they're good to their employees,
Yeah.
from what I
I've
hear
heard
so
that
far
too,
from
yeah.
my
They're
friends.
They're definitely
Yeah.
good at company, but when you're also handing out caffeine that just gets everyone happy and jittery, it's like, give me more, give me more, give me more. I think you'll admire them completely.
That's fair enough.
That's fair. That is fair. 6 is Walt Disney.
Yeah. Love
Mixed
Disney.
feelings about that.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really admire, Disney and, how far they've come, but there's just some things that I don't agree with. I don't know. It's like a huge monopoly now. At this point, they own everything,
Yeah.
which is cool. You got the power, but also,
They own ESPN. They're starting their new streaming site.
Yeah.
they own a lot of stuff. But I think, I don't know. I don't know how they treat their employees.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they're on the top 10 list of most admired. Number 7 is Microsoft, surprisingly. I don't know anyone that still uses Microsoft.
Well, I use Windows still. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Microsoft does well with their stuff. They have Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
the thing
you're
that
right.
they don't have, or the thing they have that sucks, is Skype. Skype is garbage. So
It is. It doesn't work. I use Google Docs, so I don't even use Microsoft anymore.
right, yeah.
Southwest Airlines is number 8.
That's not the airlines that got in trouble last year, right?
No,
that was
United.
United?
I think it was United. Yeah.
But I think Southwest did have a bad reputation in the 90s for breaking
yeah.
stuff, right? Or maybe early 2000s. I think they were the one airline that kept breaking everybody's luggage
Yeah.
or packages.
They were terrible at first. So
They must have a comeback. Number 9 is FedEx, which is surprising to me because I never use FedEx.
I love FedEx. When I get my package, I'm so happy.
Yeah. Keyword there is when or if.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair.
And then number 10 is JP Morgan Chase.
JP Morgan, isn't that like insurance?
Yeah, isn't that like, get your cash now?
Yeah.
Commercial.
That's JG Westworth.
Oh, never mind.
877 cash now.
I know about 70% of the list, or 70% of the names on the list, but
Yeah, I admire some of those companies. And you know what else I admire? The Morning App. We'll be back talking about some movie quotes. We got to guess the movie quotes, see how it goes. It's Dinosaur Choco on the app.
on 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com. 8:33 and welcome into the morning app on this lovely Monday morning. Be careful if you are leaving your house right now. When I left my house early this morning, it was icy. Josh, what's the weather like for today?
Still cold, still bad. It's 24 out there right now. I'm still mad at Mother Nature for hyping us up all week for the snow, and then we're going to get nothing this week. High of 43 tomorrow. It's only a high of 33 today. Might rain on Wednesday, but just bummed.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
I remember like last week it said it was going to snow all week this week, and it's changed. It's going to be in the 40s, maybe the 50s sometime this week.
Honestly, though, I'm fine with that.
Why even look at the app? Like, why even look at the weather?
Well, I'll just go outside and just test it, see how it feels.
That's normally what I do. I'm like, puts one finger outside. Okay, it looks like a overalls day.
It's like you get in the shower, you just want to test, see if it's warm. Just put your hand in there. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for our newest game, and we still have no name for it, but it's a movie quote game. And I'm
name
gonna
that movie quote. I named it last Monday.
Okay, name that movie quote.
That's a long name. Don't we have something catchy that'll like?
You just gotta say it really
she
fast.
Just said it. She just said it. She just said it. It's catchy. Name that movie quote.
Yeah, you just gotta say it fast. It's
Make
not
it a
that
jingle.
long. You got it.
Name that.
Well, we're still taking answers. Maybe something a little bit quicker, a one hitter or something. But
Ooh.
I'm just saying it's a little long. But this week we're going Disney princess.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I was trying to think of maybe something you all would watch or know, and we're going Disney princess quotes.
You really think we would know that?
Not sure. But
The three of us that are playing today.
Yep.
I don't think. I mean, I think I've watched one Disney princess movie.
Yeah.
I figured it was
I
a
like
safe
Belle.
bet. I figured it was a safe bet, but hey, you guys can't watch them all. Okay, first up, I'm gonna read you a quote, and I'll give you 4 multiple choice options, so A,
All
B,
right.
C, or D. First up, if you dream a thing more than once, it's sure to come true. Was it A, Cinderella, B, Sleeping Beauty, C, Snow White, or D, The Princess and the Frog?
It's either A or C.
I'm gonna go with A, Cinderella.
I'm going to go with C.
You're gonna go C.
Yeah.
What was C
Molly?
again? It was Snow White, right?
C was Snow White.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Snow White.
You have Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, or Princess and the Frog.
I
If
have
you dream
only
a thing,
seen. I've only seen 1 out of 4.
which one?
Cinderella. So I'm going with
Yeah,
Cinderella.
same.
If you dream a thing more than once, it's sure to come true.
I'm gonna do B.
Wait, B is Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Molly, you are correct. It's Sleeping Beauty.
Ooh,
You gotta think about it. If you dream a
yes.
thing more than once,
You know, I thought about that too, and I was like, oh, wait, there's no way.
I just remember her singing about something like that.
I'm pretty sure Cinderella said dream somewhere in the
I mean-
movie.
Probably. He's
So
once
I
or
said-
twice.
yeah, right. I mean, I'm sure
Cinderella.
all of them said it, but in that exact same thing. Okay, so Molly, that's your first one. You're now at
Wow, I'm
1
shook.
point. Howie is still at 2 from last week. I'm at 1. Kristen, you're still at 0.
Right. This is my first time playing.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, second. The only way to get what you want in this world is through hard work. Was it A, Cinderella, B, Pocahontas, C, The Princess and the Frog, or D, Brave?
What?
C.
You're choosing ones I have never seen.
I'm sorry, these are the Disney princesses.
I'm
You
going
are
C.
going C, The Princess and the Frog, Molly.
I'm going Pocahontas.
Pocahontas,
Yeah.
okay, B. Kristen, the only
Okay.
way to get what you want in this world is through hard work. Cinderella, Pocahontas, The Princess and the Frog, or Brave?
I like. Are you going by movie titles? Because Brave, that's not her name.
Well,
No,
that's the name
well,
of the
it's
title of the movie.
Title of
Merida
the movie,
is
yeah.
her name.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
no.
gonna go with her.
With Brave.
Brave.
Okay. Well, once again, Molly, you are correct.
What?
with The Princess and the
I
Frog.
really like Disney, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
See,
no, we
I was
found
wondering
it.
if
She
maybe.
was bluffing.
Yeah, right. I thought for sure maybe Molly
I haven't
would get all
even
these.
seen The Princess and the Frog though. I just assumed because she seems like a tough cookie.
So does Brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
it's time period
Pocahontas.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Pocahontas for sure. Toughness, I was like, that's got to be Pocahontas.
Yeah, she like chops down trees and stuff.
Yeah, I thought
Maybe not. I've never
Maybe we should
seen it.
move on.
Originally, when I read that, I was thinking Pocahontas too, but I've never seen The Princess and the Frog. But
Yeah, same.
and then I threw in Brave in there, like, oh, maybe someone will think she was brave. Like, I don't know.
Oh, it was one.
It was tough. Okay.
Tricky.
Third, remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine. Is it A, Snow White,
It's a lame quote.
Wow.
I'm sorry. A
Wow.
Disney princess said
It's
this,
so
Kristen.
cliche. Only you can fill your world with sunshine and
Disney
butterflies.
is cliche.
Yeah, Disney's very
Yeah.
Wait, did she say
Clearly.
and butterflies?
No, I just
Okay.
don't know.
Remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine, Kristen. Is it A, Snow White, B, Frozen, C, Tangled, or D, Brave?
It's either B or C.
It's either B or C, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Frozen. I haven't gotten any of
You
them
know,
right.
I've
Say
never
it.
seen Frozen.
Say it one more time,
Not
the
worth
quote.
All right, remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine. Is it A, Snow White, B, Frozen, is it C, Tangled, or D, Brave?
I'm stuck between C and B, but I'm gonna go Frozen.
I'm gonna go
I'm
Tangled.
gonna go Tangled too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, I'm sorry. You are all wrong. This came from Snow White.
Of course.
Well, I haven't watched that in forever, and her voice annoys me.
Can we talk about how happy Josh looked when he was delivering the news that we were all wrong? He was like, this is the best part of my day. You were all incorrect.
Because we sat here, we were like
Failures.
analyzing, like, oh yeah, that could be that movie. It could be that one. But
Get
to no
nothing.
avail.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Thanks for rubbing it in, Josh. Appreciate that.
No problem. Okay, last quote. It's not until you lose everything that you can truly appreciate everything.
Ooh, ooh.
Is it A, Pocahontas, B, Snow White, C, Frozen, or D, Beauty and the Beast?
Ooh.
Oh, it's Beauty and the Beast. It's gotta be.
Say it one more time.
Is
One
it?
more time.
It's not until you lose everything that you can truly appreciate everything. A,
Ooh.
Pocahontas, B, Snow White, C, Frozen, or D, Beauty and the Beast?
It's not D. That's all I know.
It's Beauty and the Beast.
No, it's
See,
not.
I was thinking it could be Beauty and the Beast, but then I'm like, nah, that's a good movie. They'd come up with a better quote than that.
Thank you. That's the best princess.
Right? Yeah, I love Belle. So I don't know. But I also said Frozen last time and got it wrong.
Well, that means it's still up for grabs.
It was Snow White, then Pocahontas, then Frozen.
It was
Yeah, then Beauty and the Beast.
Pocahontas, Snow White, Frozen, Beauty and the Beast. Come on.
I'm gonna say Frozen.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do Frozen because honestly, I just know my girl Belle would not say
Right?
that.
She wouldn't.
Okay, Howie. What are you going?
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Sticking with it.
Oh
You
no.
guys sticking with it?
Yes.
All right. Howie's got you. Your girl Belle said that.
Really?
Thank you, Beauty and the Beast.
When does she
Thank
say
you.
it in the movie?
I
Wait,
don't
is
think
it the
Belle
new one?
said
Is
it.
it in the new one or
I
the
mean,
old one?
from all I know, this is a quote from the movie. Don't know which movie. I'm guessing the
Oh,
original.
you should really get
I'm
that down
guessing the
because it's a
original-
big
from
Probably the
debate.
Beast.
Yeah. From
Yeah.
what
No,
I got,
I thought it
it's
was
the
just from
original.
the princesses saying that.
No,
It's
well,
Disney
no.
princess
No.
movies.
Well, you just ruined the
It's
game.
from the Disney. Oh,
Molly, you
my.
won.
I know. Oh, did I?
Yeah, Molly got 2. Kristen got 1, right? And then Howie got.
I don't think I
1.
got any.
You got 1, right? You-
Sure. Throw it at me.
Yeah, I
Give me
think
1
you-
point. I don't
you
think I got
did.
it.
Oh, maybe you didn't. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you a 0.
Yeah,
Nah,
never
give
mind.
me
I
one.
thought you were gonna.
Nah,
I
nah,
thought you were
nah.
gonna get 1 because you're a Beauty and the Beast fan. I thought for sure you were gonna get that one.
Oh.
And I did. Give me the 1
No.
point.
Why you
So,
lying?
Howie is leading with 3. Molly at 2. I got 1. I didn't even play this week, and Kristen's at 0.
Yay.
Sounds about right. I'm not surprised. I'm not a movie person. But coming up soon, we'll be talking about when is it appropriate to break up over text / is it ever appropriate? You are listening to The Morning App. And now back to the morning app on 90.5 WASU.
Welcome back into the morning app here on 90.5 WASU. And as always, it's time for our relationship segment.
Yeah.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
See, I think our singing really ruins the essence of the song.
No, it makes it better. They love it.
No.
Love
I love this song so much. I'm sorry.
People all across the world are turning off their radios.
Really turns it down, man. They're singing sucks.
God, they're terrible.
But we're not kidding. All right. Yes, our relationship segment. This is my favorite, also saddest part of the show because it means our show's almost over. We're approaching 9 o'clock and I have to go do real work. But I love our relationship segment because we get to talk about the juiciest of juicy things.
Yes.
First on our list, text breakups.
Ooh.
I would never do that.
I've done it.
I've done it.
I've done it.
Multiple times.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Nope.
That
never
is
did it.
terrible.
Clean slate. Oh, man.
I would call them at least.
So, but okay, so I don't know. The guy that I was texting, I was like, I don't even know if we're still dating. Like, I was like, are we even still dating? Because it was going so downhill that I was just like, nah, we're done, man. And we broke up over text. But I don't think it's ever okay to do it with somebody that you love or care about, you know? But like, that was like not even a real relationship.
It was like a fling.
Yeah, and it didn't even last more than like 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
It
is that
lasted 2
really?
months?
I don't know, maybe less than that. I honestly don't remember. It was a long time ago.
I've had
Yeah.
a relationship like
That's a
that,
decent amount of time.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
he was horrible, though. I mean, he really was.
Yeah, I can attest from what I remember.
Yeah.
He was horrible. It was like ancient history now at this point. But
Yeah, but like we hadn't officially broken it off, so I was like, okay, well, this is going to be the official. So, and then I did, and I did feel bad, but I would never do that if it was a real relationship. That I don't think that was.
Yeah, in a real relationship, you send an email. Yeah.
Yeah.
formally written,
Yeah.
grammatically
Dear
correct,
so-and-so.
sincerely.
Hope this finds you well. But 3 instances where it might be okay to break up over text. When you barely know the other person, ding, 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 that's what I did.
Yeah.
2, when you know it's mutual. That's interesting. Why is that? Why does that clarify it okay to be breaking up over text?
Yeah.
I think
it's mutual.
You're not hurting the person on the other side. You're doing both of you a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like you can
mutual,
tell.
though.
Yeah.
How in the
sometimes.
world do you even know it's mutual?
I guess you can just
You
tell,
can
you
tell.
know.
You can tell.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I can't read anyone. Like, these females.
We need to work on that.
Yeah, but
These females.
have you ever wanted to break up with somebody? I don't think. Have you?
No. But this is
Exactly,
me.
yeah.
I mean, but then to read people, it's like, oh, you think things are going great and then they're not. So it's like, well.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been in a relationship where it was mutual. And so it's like very obvious because you're both at this point, you're like, it's just not there.
Yeah, well, and if you're also like pushing hanging out, like both of you are both like, oh, let's reschedule. Clearly, you don't really want to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my first sign always.
Another one, though, and I think maybe that this is a good idea if you can't do it in person successfully. Like a lot of people will hype themselves up and then they get there and then they just can't do it. You know, I have friends like that, or like where you just like you see them and you see their face and you're like, I know I have to break up with you, but I can't right now because like you're in front of me. So if you're having that dilemma, I don't know, maybe text, probably not, but a phone call, maybe.
Yeah,
A little bit better,
I
yeah.
think if you've been with somebody for a long enough time that you owe them the decency to say it to their face or a phone call if it's distance rather
Right.
than a text message. Because first of all, text is, you can totally miscommunicate with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can read somebody's tone so differently and their mood. I don't know. I just think you owe people that if you've been with them for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, breaking up is always a difficult thing to do, but at the end of the day, if you have to do it, then you need to work up the courage to do it because, like you said, you owe it to that person. If you did love them, or if it was a long-term relationship, something like that, flings, those can end over text, right?
Nah,
Flings, yeah.
definitely fake your own death. Definitely fake your own
That's
death.
the solution.
Change your name.
Disappear.
Move to Wyoming.
Move to Wyoming. Get a new name.
Get a farm.
You gotta leave the country for sure. If you're gonna go that far, you can't just Wyoming.
I mean, that's one way to do it. So if we don't hear from you in a little while, we'll know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Josh broke up with somebody, guys. Well, this is kind of like a dilemma that, like, I feel like I'm not facing, but, like, we're coming to the end of college, but we're at that 21-year-old age where we can kind of hit the bars.
Yeah.
I'm single, okay? So it's kind of something that I've seen my friends go through and myself go through is, are we hanging out or are we starting to date?
Right.
And, like, that's really big, I feel like, in our age group right now, where it's like, oh, we're just hanging out. We're just talking, quote, quote.
Right.
But not dating. And I don't know. Do you guys feel like that's, like,
Harmful?
harmful to, like, your emotional being?
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
I definitely think so. I know we talk about it often, what is talking, what is hanging out. But, I mean, I don't know. It could go either way because it's kind of nice because you don't actually have to do anything official, which means if it doesn't work out, it's less risk, you know? But it also, if it is kind of going towards the route that it's working out, it kind of stinks because then you might misread the situation, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I would prefer us to officially be going on dates and, like, have this officialness in my head because if we're in limbo, it's going to get really confusing and I might misread you, you know?
I mean, for me, though, I think at this point, it's really hard because you're about to graduate and stuff, and you're hanging around. Like, you want to go talk to people, meet other people, but you don't want to commit to anything because you don't know what's going to happen in 3 months or so when we're graduating. So, you know, I guess at this point, just hanging out. You don't have to really say that you're dating or be exclusive or anything like that. Just hanging out, just casual stuff. I don't have to put a label on it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard right now because, you know, I also always think of, like, when people are like, well, I'm seeing a bunch of other people, but, you know, like, that's just, I don't know. I can't do that. I can't multitask like that. Like, I just can't. I need to invest in one person, but then that's also kind of harmful, I feel like, because if you're just talking or hanging out, you shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. This one's weird though because I think it does also depend on the type of person that you are. What if you are the person that needs, like, no labels on stuff? But then there are people out there that's like, no, I need to know what this is or else I'm going to be confused, you know? Right. So it depends on the type of person too, probably.
And then what happens if you're hanging out with them and then they want something more, but you know, like, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Like, you're gonna be in limbo for another couple of weeks, maybe another month or so, trying to figure it out. Then time's gonna go on. It's gonna hit the summertime. You're just like, So.
You're just like,
The hardest part is we're talking about whether you're, like, actually dating or hanging out, but I think the hardest part is whether when you're with someone, are you hanging out or are you talking? I think there's a separation there as well.
Yeah.
Are you talking
my gosh,
or
you guys,
hanging
this is
out?
too much for me.
Because, I mean, if you see a person every single day, like at your place of work or in a class or something, you guys talk, you hang out, you go study together. Are you hanging out or are you actually talking then?
Okay,
Like,
then you're
let's
talking.
not even put the dating label on it. Are you just friends or are you actually, like, trying to talk and be more?
so you're saying the timeline goes hanging out, then talking, then dating.
Yes.
That's too much. That's so hard.
It's a lot.
Too much. Yeah, I don't know. I think that hanging out is cool and all right now, especially for, like, people like single folks like me and Howie's single, who are graduating soon, and he's graduating. That's why I was throwing it out there. Josh, I know you're single, but, like,
Wow.
you're not graduating right now.
Call
So
me
ladies,
out.
hit Josh up. He'll be here for another year.
You can shoot a shot another year.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just think it's difficult for us, especially, like, if we did meet somebody, you know, and we enjoyed their company. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, what is talking, what is hanging out? But thank you for hanging out with us this morning on Monday. Once again, if you're an Eagles fan, congratulations. Hope you're having a swell day. We'll be back on Wednesday with Taylor Ann.